Hey guys, it's CognitivePit, and today we're going to be talking about Path of Exile. Now, Path of Exile is an action RPG that is currently in open beta, so anyone can go ahead and join and start playing. Now, what's really cool about this is that your characters and everything you do is not going to be wiped when the game becomes fully released. So basically, open beta just means it's out. You can basically play it, nothing detrimental is going to happen, but you can expect some skill changes, maybe some balancing issues solved, and some bugs, or maybe even new content. But yeah, let's just get right into what is Path of Exile. So like I said, it's an action RPG, and let's talk about the classes real quick. Now, there are 6 classes, each one representing a different attribute or mix of attributes. So the main attributes are Strength, which is represented by this guy, the Marauder. There is Intelligence, represented by this girl, the Witch. And then there is Dexterity, represented by the Ranger. Now within there are different mixes. So the Duelist here uses Strength and Dexterity, and the Templar uses Strength and Intelligence, and the Duelist uses Intelligence and Dexterity. So as you can see, you can pretty much play any kind of class that you could possibly want, because everything is just a mix of attributes. Now let's choose something and get right in here. I'm going to choose the Shadow.
A simple job.
Hey, I'm a Shadow.
Silence a big mouth.
Now we're going to get right on in here and start showing you the game a little bit and what it's really all about. Now, Path of Exile is a little different than any game you've probably ever played, due to one main reason, which I'll be showing you in a second after we help out this dying exile real quick with his little problem. Now, I didn't actually pick up the weapon, but that's alright, we can punch this guy down. Now, the first thing I want to show you is the skill tree. Now, a lot of people are calling this game the perfect Diablo 3 instead of the actual Diablo 3, which you can look at it that way. Diablo 2 actually had a skill tree, and in Diablo 3 they kind of just got rid of all that and you just picked spells. But here, you're going to see Path of Exile has a humongous skill tree. Now if you look at this here, we're talking about 1,500 skills, around that number, and what's really cool about this is the skill tree for every class. Now as you can see, as a Shadow, we start out over here. It shows us the skills that we're starting out with and what each thing does. And we're actually able to go in and choose which path we want to take. Now, as a Dexterity Intelligence, you can sort of see that I'm going to be wanting Dexterity Intelligence because that's the class I chose. Now, look down here, you can see Dexterity path, and you can see an Intelligence path. Now, just because they're different paths doesn't mean you can't do both. Although there are definitely recommended specs, but you can literally do whatever you want. There are 100 levels, and I believe a few extra passive skills more than that due to getting them from quests, but you're able to go around here and pretty much choose anything you want. I mean, you have to follow a direct path and everything has to link up, but you can start over here, and then you can go over to a different class, like the Witch over here. Now that's what's really cool about it. I'll make another video more in depth about this as well, but there's definitely a ton of customability here, or customization, so it's very, very cool. Now what's even cooler is no class really has anything that's very, like, class dependent. So as you can see here, we got a gem, and a gem is basically your skill, or your spells. Now we got a Dexterity gem because it's green, but it doesn't, not only Dex characters can use them, it's just about the amount that you have. So this is called Double Strike. Now what you do is you take a gem and you put it into a gem slot of one of your items. Now they give you an item right away, so you'll be able to use something. So now, as you can see, I gained the Double Strike ability. Performs 2 fast attacks on target enemy with your main hand melee weapon. So now that means I can do a special attack. Now what's really cool about this is not Shadow dependent. Any person who wants to use the Double Strike can. My Witch, for instance, could in fact be a melee witch and do this attack. And that's what's really cool about this game. The classes really, I mean, they matter if you want to optimize a certain build, but they don't matter for what you want to do. So you can be a witch or a duelist that uses fireball. I mean, you can literally do anything that you want. Now, the one key thing is, when you choose a class, there's going to be certain rewards, certain spell rewards, and you're not going to be able to see some of ones that are like a witch spell, for instance. You're not really going to be able to find it on a marauder, but you'd be able to get it from other people, and perhaps you would be able to find it in the just playing the game and getting it as a drop. Now, as you can see, there's a little bit different of a potion situation here than anything you're probably used to. Now here, you're given flasks. Now flasks don't go away once you use them. As you can see, I can drink it down to 0 and it stays there empty. And as I kill things, it's actually going to go ahead and refill. So instead of having to find or buy a ton of potions, it's actually just dependent on how much stuff you kill and finding the single flask, which can then get upgraded and have magical properties too if you'd like. Now that's what's really cool about this game, is that there's so much customization that you could literally do anything with any class, and even down to your flasks can have different abilities. The main flasks are the life and mana, of course, but then there are flasks later like the granite flask and the quick charge flask, and there's just a bunch of different kinds of flasks that can increase speed, they can increase your resistances, and that's what's really cool about this game. Now, as you can see, my flask did fill up a little, so you can kind of understand what I was saying earlier about it refilling as you kill things. But this is basically Path of Exile. It's an action RPG. People equate it a lot to D3, being a little bit of an upgrade to D3. Not D3, D2. This is a very different game than D3, but people are saying that they wish this is what D3 was. So yeah, if you really like action RPGs, this is a great game for you. It can be a little overwhelming, but there's a lot of aspects to it, and I'm going to make some beginner guides. You guys can post any questions if you have any questions, and I'll make a guide about them or just answer your question in a comment. But I'm going to be putting out some great beginner guides that you can check out, and hopefully you'll be able to master and understand Path of Exile. Thanks for watching, guys.